A gorgeous day on the west side of the Valley of the Sun. It's also where the Southsiders call Camelback Ranch their spring training home. The White Sox building camaraderie as they saw a 19-game improvement last season. Welcome to 30 Clubs, 30 Camps alongside Jake Peavy on Siera, Santos. And they say the children are the future. In this case for the White Sox, it is the youth. Now, you pitch for this organization. I used to cover this team. I will tell you, there is a genuine sense of optimism around here.
You can feel it, and rightfully so. When you talk about the second half and you see, we all know Colson Montgomery's story, but if you look around in the Kyle Teals of the world, and these young players certainly have a promising future. When you look at the totality of the package, you got to put some veterans around them to help them develop. They've done a nice job of that. I think Austin Hayes, Murakami's certainly going to help. Back into this bullpen, you've got to win the games that you should win. They're going to be much better in 26.
And this clubhouse has been anchored by the veteran presence of Andrew Benintendi throughout its entire rebuild. Andrew Benintendi, first of all, so good to see you. And is it kind of crazy? You are the veteran of this squad, the kind of quiet leader. One thing that you noted, though, even though all these rookies came in, they were all here to work. How has that carried into spring?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, obviously, last year was a big step for a lot of guys coming in, being their first year. And I think they kind of identified themselves as players and know what they were capable of. So, yeah, coming into camp, I think their confidence has gone through the roof. So there's a lot of potential in that room, and excited to see what can happen this year.
A lot of potential in the room, we know that. What's been Will's message to you guys as a club, coming from where we know we're rebuilding, but the focus is on winning? How's it been playing under Will, and what's been his message?
No, it's been great. Will's calm, cool, and collected. He comes in every day and with a good attitude, a good mindset. So just pushing us to become better, I think. Obviously, I think we all hear the noise from the outside. There's not much expectation for us, but we're putting that behind us. I think we're going to surprise a lot of teams this year, so we'll see.
One of the things we have going on in the background behind you is a horse tournament, which I believe is starting today. Do you have an early dark horse?
Early dark horse, I don't know. We'll have to see.
What about yourself? Come on.
Last year, I didn't show out last year. I was pretty disappointed in myself, but we'll see. I don't know yet. I think Corey Lee could surprise some people. I'm sure there's others, so I'll have to do some scouting.
How much did he pay you to say that?
Just $20. That's it.
Thinking about working in the offseason, give me some drills or give me something that you really pounded home for you to get back on track.
Yeah, I think my direction at the plate. I think, last year especially, I got kind of pull happy and started opening up my hips a little bit. But, I think my direction's been a lot better so far this spring. Hitting against my front side better. And I think that'll open up, the whole field, not just the pull side. That's right.
Benny, thanks so much for the time. We really
appreciate it. Thank you very much. Absolutely. Thank you all.
The White Sox had close to 20 rookies make their debuts last season, and there are more prospects in the pipeline that could see their major league debuts this season. Switch hitter Braden Montgomery is projected to be a stud and tops the list at number 36 overall. Now here's Jake with a former White Sox top prospect.
Colson, number 88. Did you see that? Top 100 players. What do you feel about that ranking? A little low, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's all right, for right now.
You ask any player on that list, they think they should be a little bit higher, right?
100%, yeah.
First off, how's camp going?
It's been good. Yeah, a lot of new faces here, but everybody's been, welcoming everyone with big arms and everything like that. Everyone's excited to get to work.
The vibes are high. You see a lot of smiling faces, and then a lot of people believing in a lot of this young talent around here. Talk to me about expectations going into this season, what you think this team can do. And look, what you catch in the second half, the work down the stretch as a team.
Yeah, I think everyone here has high expectations of ourselves, as a team and personal high expectations, just because, we got a pretty good taste of success last year. A lot of us younger guys, coming up, and, a lot of our veteran pieces too helped out with, tremendously with a lot of that stuff. So, I think our skip, he sets the tone, every single day. He wants us coming out here playing hard, playing the best that we can play, and just giving 100%. because at the end of the day, that's feel like all you can do as a player, is just give it everything that you can do that day, and whatever happens, happens.
Talking to all the hitters out there, from young to in the big leagues, what's your mindset in the box?
Yeah, I mean, when I got up to the big leagues, I just felt like I had a lot of pressure kind of lift off myself, and I just felt like that was where I could just be myself and just be an athlete. I mean, one of my things in the box is, I'm trying to stay on the fastball, and a lot of my stuff comes off of being on the fastball at the top of the zone. So I train a lot of the fastball at the top of the zone, and a lot of the time it's, for me, especially with a guy who can pull the ball, I don't want to get too out and around and stuff, so it's kind of like I move my foul pole kind of to right center, and that kind of keeps me like locked in and keeps me more direct to the ball and to center field. And
let's get specific on right. First off, I'm a pitcher. If you're not on the fastball, you're not ready to hit. I love that you're on the fastball, and I love that you're understanding that the top of the zone is where we're going to try to exploit it.
Yeah.
What's a drill that you work on to?
Yeah, so what I do is I get like we have like these skinny bats. It's like the same size and weight of a regular bat, but it's a skinny bat, so it's smaller, so you really have to like have good contact and good bat to ball skills. And then what I'll do is I'll get like our big machines, and we'll get these like tater balls is what they call it, like these light balls, so it like simulates like a lot of ride. And so I'll like set that at the top of the zone, and I'll just try to play, kind of pepper and kind of try to keep it as low line drive as I can. But also that also helps me a lot too, because it's hard, and it's harder than the game.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that I have to do is, I gotta, how would you say it? I gotta expose myself a little bit in the cage,
I love it. Like, last thing I got for you, any personal goals? Do you set personal goals?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of my personal goals this year is, be as good defensively as I can.
I love it.
I feel like I can be a really good defender, and this year I kind of want to go out and show that I'm a really good defender.
Right. Colson, big things coming.
Thank
Been
you.
fun to watch your journey.
Yep,
Best
thank
of
you.
luck in 26, my friend.
Appreciate it.
So we want to know, which White Sox sophomore, rookie, or prospect position player are you most excited to see? Colson Montgomery, Kyle Teal, Munetaka Murakami, or Brandon Montgomery? We'll have your answers later in the show. This winter, the White Sox made a splashy signing for Japanese slugger Munetaka Murakami and add a bona fide reliever in Sir Anthony Dominguez. Luis Angel Acuna comes over via trade from the Mets, as Chicago sent Luis Robert to Queens, and the front office used the money to improve their overall roster. Time for Front Office Insights presented by Sage, and for that we welcome in White Sox General Manager Chris Getz. And Chris, this was a busy offseason, a busy winter for you guys, and I feel like I know what the answer is going to be, but where did you improve the most in this roster?
Well, we really wanted to build off of our second half momentum, and so, going into the offseason, obviously you look at the needs of your major league club or organization, but more than anything, it was continuing to accumulate talent as we're, building towards, just a next step. But I was talking to Will, at the beginning of camp. We were looking out on the field, and it was like, wow, we got Colson Montgomery at shortstop. We got these young catchers in Teal and Caro. Miguel Vargas, the year they had last year. We've got starting pitching depth. Shane Smith, who was a Rule 5 pick last year, and he's going into year 2. We've got a bullpen with Sir Anthony Dominguez. We got Grant Taylor, who came up last year and did a really good job, and Jordan Leisure, having a great second half. We feel like we're continuing to build in all these facets of the team, and then you go out and you get a Murakami. And having him come in, it's really created a lot of positive buzz for the organization. We're excited to see what he can do.
What's the message from you on down through Will that you're trying to instill in these players?
Well, we could sit here and talk about a rebuild or different phases of a rebuild. We still have expectations to go out there and compete on a regular basis. You got Will Venable, who's, in our opinion, one of the top managers in the game, and he's got a great understanding of what this club is, where it can go. He's in year 2. He's so much more comfortable and confident now that he has an understanding of what a manager is at the major league level, but certainly in this organization. You got the rapport that Will and I have in the front office and a coaching staff that we feel like is well equipped to put our players to go out there and compete on a regular basis. Will, what he does, it's creating a pathway to victory on a daily basis. And regardless of what happens the night before, the day before, that doesn't mean we can't go out there and win, the upcoming game. And he's got a clear mindset and a plan that the players respond well to.
Final question, and this is the hard-hitting journalism coming out right now. Where are we at on the bidets in the clubhouse? Are they completely installed?
We're working on that right now in Chicago. It's a big story. It is a work in progress, but when it comes to making sure our players are comfortable, this was a way to do that, and
100%.
I think it's going to show up on the field in production.
Chris, thanks so much for the time. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Good to see you guys.
Miguel Vargas made major strides in his first full season with the White Sox, and he established himself as a solid major leaguer. After a rough 3 weeks in 2025, he made an adjustment to his setup in April, and for the rest of the season, he would post a .769 OPS in 116 games. Miguel, how excited are you to be playing third base full time? I know it runs in your blood. Your dad, he played third base, won 2 gold medals with Cuba.
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot for me, especially that's a position my dad played for plus 20 years. So, having playing there for me is a really good challenge for me this coming season. So I'm very excited for it.
And you're carrying on his tradition as well, wearing his number?
Yes.
What was your reaction when you saw that number on the back of the jersey?
Yeah, that was awesome, especially, coming to the clubhouse and have, that number. It means so much for us. And especially for him, I think when he saw that for the first time, he cried a little bit. He never cried though, but I think that he got emotional when this type of thing happened.
Now, you did make an adjustment last season in April. Tell me what you did and why it paid off.
Just was put my hands a little bit higher, and I think that changed my whole season. Especially, I feel I was doing a lot of bad habit with my hands, so I put in a better position where I can, attack more fastball up and be more able to drive it with power. So, I think that helped me a lot, and I'm glad I did that adjustment.
I'm hearing around the entire clubhouse that you are everyone's favorite. Everybody loves this guy. How would you describe your personality?
I mean, I like to put a lot of music in the clubhouse. They get a little bit over me sometimes with too much salsa, but I love being a good teammate and be around the guys. I miss them all season, and especially now we played for a full season last year. We're getting really close, and I love all them too.
Okay, nothing to joke about. Your fandom for the Minnesota Vikings. Tell me about it, and Justin Jefferson in particular.
Yes, like Grady. Yeah, I mean, we got one of my teammates for last year for the Dodgers in minor leagues. We did a fantasy first time, so we did it together. He's from Minnesota, and then he flew me to Minnesota. We watched a game, so it was pretty fun. And since that day, I'm a big fan of football and the Vikings too.
Wait, do they call you the Cuban Viking? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, that's my nickname for the fantasy team.
I love it. Miguel, really nice. Best of luck this season.
Thank you so much.
So
appreciate
great to catch up with you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Manager interviews are presented by Sage, the official finance software partner of Major League Baseball.
By the middle of the 2025 season, the White Sox were going with a rookie catching combination. Edgar Quero made his MLB debut on April 17th and Kyle Teel on June 6th. Teel was part of the return from the Red Sox for Garrett Crochet, and Quero came to the Sox system via trade in 2023. Here he is standing by with Jake.
All right, Edgar, how's camp going, buddy?
Pretty good, man. Camp is pretty good so far, and I'm happy to be here.
Feels different coming into camp now with big league experience, right? All over spring trainings, you've been hoping to make it to the big leagues. Now you come in knowing you're going to be on the big league roster. Now you're just working on your craft, correct?
Yeah, I feel different, man. Coming here right now with one season already in the big leagues, kind of easy for me, I know the league a little better now, and, happy to be here.
Catching in the big leagues, I'm sure, overwhelming game planning, offensively. Biggest things you took away from your first big league season?
Yeah, man, as a catcher in the big leagues, it's a little hard. Yeah, you have to do reports, you have to know your pitchers, you have to do a lot of stuff, and especially the biggest thing for me in the big leagues, as a player, you have to have a routine, because it's kind of different in the minor leagues. You have to work a little bit more, you have to be a little more focused.
I know you and Teel, obviously the catching platoon here, kind of deal. When you talk about that routine, Who's been guys around camp or minor league systems or around who's shown you that routine?
Yeah, right now we are working with Walker. He's pretty good right now. You know, he's working with us on the routine in the cage, doing the defense stuff, and the hitting side. We're working with Derek, with the guys, and you know, feeling pretty good right now, and you know, trying to get the work done.
What about the ABS system? You excited about this? And have you had any challenges so far?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I've been using it in AAA a couple years, and right now it's pretty good. I think the zone is a little small. I've been using it. I got 3 challenge. I got 1 right. I got 2 bad. So
Okay.
I'm below the average right now, but I'm gonna still use it. I'm gonna keep doing it. It's pretty good. I like it.
Offensively, what's something you think about in the box, or which offense mindset?
Right now, man, you know, spring training. Right now, I'm just focused to be on time with the fastball, and especially from my last year, my left side, you know, was like really good. Was missing a lot of fastball in the middle of the play, and you know, right now, I was trying to get on the fastball, do damage, and hit the ball hard.
Edgar, pleasure to watch your play.
Nice to meet you,
Good
man.
luck in 26,
Thank you.
buddy.
Thank you.
The White Sox made strides in every area in 2025. Yes, they did lose 100-plus games again, but they saw a 19-win improvement from 2024, second highest in the majors. They also improved their run differential by over 200 runs. Time now for the manager interview presented by Sage, and for that, we welcome in White Sox skipper Will Venable. And Will, how does this spring training feel different?
Well, I know a lot of the names, so I don't have to remember a lot of these names up front here. We do have some new faces, but really, you know, just clarity around what we're trying to do here on a daily basis. You know, had an off season to plan, and so just happy about coming into the camp with a little bit better plan.
Better plan, and look, better second half. I watched you guys play inspired baseball, certainly trying to pick up where you left off in the second half.
Absolutely. You know, these guys did a great job in the second half. Kind of feel like, you know, we established our identity a little bit. Some of these young guys came up, you know, did a lot of the things that we're asking them to do defensively, you know, at the plate, throwing more strikes, you know, busting it out of the box, all the little things that we know contribute to wins.
As for Munetaka Murakami, what did you see out of him in the couple weeks that you did get to spend with him? And I heard that he was hitting it pretty hard.
Yeah,
like grinding at it.
He was grinding, you know. He's used to a training style in which I think, you know, his spring trainings back home were, you know, 9 hours. And, you know, that's the thing that really stuck out is that we asked him to do some things different in his preparation, and he didn't skip a beat. You know, he's been very flexible and had some adjustability in how he's gone about it, and has really engaged with the program. More than anything, it's impressive just the way he's gotten along with our young players and just kind of fits in the clubhouse.
That's one thing I was going to ask you about too, is you mentioned those new faces, but I've been told that there's already a sense of camaraderie. Are you surprised at how well everyone has meshed together?
I'm not. You know, from day one when I got this job and was calling guys in the offseason, you just got this sense that they're very much connected. And then we go through last year and we saw a lot of the same. And now as we've added more guys in camp this year, it's just been the same thing. They get along great.
A lot of young faces around here. Yours still looks young as ever. We're watching them play basketball in the background. I want to know if there's anybody in camp that can outball you.
You know, Colson Montgomery might have a chance, you know, especially if we were out in the open floor, you know.
Okay.
He can run a little bit, and but yeah, not many of these guys have a chance. Yeah.
No, we heard you were the same bet. Well, thanks so much for the time.
All right.
We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
We asked you earlier which White Sox sophomore, rookie, or prospect position player you are most looking forward to seeing. The majority answered with the Japanese slugger at 35.8% of the vote. Colson Montgomery comes in at a close second with 34.5%. Before we say goodbye, Jake, it's that part of the show. You have to give a bold prediction for the 2026 White Sox.
My bold prediction is Andrew Benintendi regains all-star status form.
Oh, I like that.
He's going to the Midsummer Classic and really takes a step in leading these young position players on the south side.
I'm going with the rookie prediction. Munetaka Murakami wins AL Rookie of the Year.
I like that.
It's not that bold, but you know what? It's okay.
They
don't
love
have
him
to be
around
outrageous every single time. And this is a thing for us, Jake. You have familiarity with this organization, as do I. I have never seen this group smiling so much.
I believe in what they're building around here. I know Will Venable, Josh Barfield, Chris Getz personally. You can feel it. The AL Central is winnable. Guys like Tarek Skubal may or may not be there in the next few years. This Chicago White Sox team is coming.
They are building for the future, and that is going to do it for us. For 30 clubs, 30 camps, he's Jake Peavy. I'm Siera Santos. Thanks so much for watching.